Hey guys, do you want to know what I read last night?
Oh, you read last night? What book did you read?
Last night, I went through a few short stories and one caught my attention.
Oh really? What is the title of the story?
It's Lamb to the Slaughter.
No way, I read that story too. Really? I read that too. Me too.
I read that book too.
Oh my god, this is getting fun. How about we analyze this short story since we all have read it?
Yes, I agree. Let's do some research first. Wait, guys! Wait, guys! Is it just me who doesn't know how to analyze a story?
Oh, there are a few elements that we need to look at when we're doing a short story analysis.
Yes, in short story analysis, we look at things like short story information, plot, setting, and so on.
That's true, Daim. There are also conflict, character, and characteristics. So, in total, we have 5 elements in short story analysis. Do you understand now, Aifa?
I think I understand now. But what is the meaning of each of these elements?
A good plot summary, it tells about what happened in the beginning, middle, and end without adding extra details. However, a good plot summary includes the main characters, the conflict, and also how it is resolved.
What is the meaning of a character? Character is a person, animal, or object or thing that been presented in a person in a narrative. In character, we have internal conflict and external conflict. What is meaning of a characteristics? Characteristic in literature is in elements like character, setting, plot, theme, and style.
In a short story, conflict means the main problem that the character face. It was make the story more interesting.
Short story information means the basic detail of a story. It includes the author, the title, the main character, setting, and even a theme.
Aifa, can you guess what is setting?
Let me guess. I think setting is the time and the place of the story, right?
Correct!
Now, let's get into the story. So now, I'm gonna talk about short story information from a story called Lamb to the Slaughter. It was written by Roald Dahl and published in 1953. The story is known for dark humor, irony, and I would say unexpected twist ending. It begins with Mary Melanie, a devoted and pregnant housewife who were completely changed after her husband decided to leave her. Due to pure shock and anger, she killed her husband with a frozen leg of lamb. Then she cleverly disposed the evidence by cooking and serving it for the police who investigate the case.
Next, Freitex Triangle. Number 1. Exposition. Mary is introduced as a loving and pregnant wife while waiting her husband return from work. Number 2. Rising action. Patrick, her husband, suddenly drinks heavily and finally he wants to reveal to his wife about he wants to leave her. Number 3. Climax. Mary kills her husband with a frozen leg of lamb. Number 4. Following action. Mary covered up her crime, which is she cooked the leg of lamb and go to groceries, prepare for her alibi, and also she called the police. Number 5. Resolution. The police unknowingly eat the murder weapon, making it impossible to trace to Mary. She giggles.
In character and characteristic, we have Mary Melanie. Mary Melanie, she is a devoted wife and she is deeply affectionate toward her husband, cherish their routine. Also, she is calm and gentle in the beginning. It is described with a slow smiling air and placid look. And lastly, she is pregnant 6 months, and which add to her vulnerability and heightens the shock of her husband's news. Next, we have Patrick Melanie. He is policeman and he is senior in his job, respected in the precinct. Next, he is reserved and distant. He doesn't talk much after work. He prefers to drink in silence. Next, we have Sergeant Jack Noonan. He is friendly and kind. He knows Mary personally and treats her gently. Lastly, we have the other policemen and detective, for example like O'Malley. They are dutiful and they search the house and investigate thoroughly.
Now, let's look into settings. First, we have historical settings. The story sets in the mid-20th century when traditional gender roles were common, which is wives stays at home while husbands work. This shapes Mary's character to be a devoted housewife. Number 2. Geographical settings. This story takes place in a suburban home in United States, which is Mary and Patrick Maloney's house. Most of the events happen in the living room and kitchen. Physical setting. It happens when Patrick comes home from work. It was cozy in a warm house, but suddenly it turns into a shocking crime that shakes the whole town.
Alright, so now let's talk about conflicts. The first one is character versus character, where the main conflicts is between Mary and Patrick. When Patrick tells her he's leaving, Mary feels shocked and betrayed. At first it is emotional, but it quickly turns physical when Mary kills him with leg of lamb. The clash between husband and wife sets the whole story in motion. So, let's talk about the second conflicts. Character versus society. After the murder, Mary faced the outside world, the police and the law. Instead of breaking down, she used society's view of her as a harmless, loving wife to hide her crime. The police trust her so much, they end up eat the evidence themselves. This shows how easily appearance can trick people and how fragile justice can be. So, let's get to the last conflict, which is justice versus injustice. Patrick's decision to leave Mary feels like an injustice to her, but her response killing him creates an even greater injustice. The irony is that she avoids punishment, turning justice upside down and leaving the reader with Dell's dark humor.
Now, we have point of view. The first one is third person. The narrator is not a character in the story, but it used pronouns like she, he, and they. Next, we have limited. The narration focuses almost entirely on Mary Melanie's thought, feelings, and perceptions. Lastly, we have effect. We see events as Mary experiences them, which helps the reader understand her shock, planning, and deceptions. But it hides what Patrick is thinking and what the police suspect. This creates suspense and irony because the reader knows the truth while the characters not.
Move on to literary devices. Number 1. Symbolism. The leg of lamb symbolizes both domestically, which is a meal for the family, and violence to a weapon for a murder. Number 2. Theme. For the theme, betrayal, deception, and the subversion of the traditional gender roles that the powerless and housewife become the powerful things.
To conclude, Lamb to the Slaughter by Roald Dahl is not just an ordinary crime story, but one that cleverly combines suspense, irony, and dark humor. The story begins with Mary Melanie as a loving and devoted wife, but it takes a shocking turn when she murders her husband in a moment of emotional despair. This sudden shift keeps readers hooked and shows how quickly circumstances can change human behavior.
One of the most striking elements of the story is the theme of betrayal. Patrick Melody's decision to leave Mary shatters her world, and her reaction is extreme and unexpected. This highlights how betrayal can push someone to act irrationally, even violently. At the same time, the story makes us think about gender roles and the position of women during the era, as Mary used her role as a housewife to hide her crime in plain sight. Another important point is Dahl's use of irony. The policeman searched the house desperately for the murder weapon while ironically eating it for supper. This twist ending is both shocking and humorous, and it leaves the audience reflecting on how easily people can overlook the obvious. It's a reminder that sometimes the truth is right in front of us, but we fail to see it. From a moral perspective, the story raises questions about justice and morality. Although Patrick was unfaithful and cruel, does that justify Mary's actions? Clearly, murder cannot be excused, but Dahl presents the situation in such a way that readers may feel sympathy for Mary. This moral ambiguity makes the story more powerful because it challenges us to think about human weaknesses and the complexity of emotions.
In the end, Lamb to the Slaughter remains a memorable short story because of its dark humor, clever irony, and also shocking twist. It teaches us that appearances can be deceiving, and that even the most gentle and ordinary person may hide unexpected strengths or darkness with that, we conclude our analysis, and we hope this discussion has given you deeper insight into Roald Dahl's unique storytelling style. Thank you for watching this video. That's true, Daim. There is a conflict like mana?
Next, we have Lim.
Kau tengah shoot. Bising ya kita ni. Senyap sikit.
Kita clumsy budak aku.